Hello, guys. Once again, it's Louis, aka Louis the Priesthood, Gnostic Christian Priesthood, also founder of the group V2K Awareness and Peer Review. And I'm here again to let you know, give you a little insight that it is 100% essential that you keep a positive attitude no matter what. When you keep a positive attitude, you allow the angels to be able to see you clearly out the fog. And when you have a clear positive attitude, you keep from creating a messed up reality. You have a good positive attitude, it reaps, give off a certain type of energy. Your magnetic field is sustainable. When you have fear and doubt and all that stuff, it's like sludge, and it makes your magnetic field grow and there's absolutely nothing to gain by you being sad, depressed, anger, because anger is really just frustration from lack of not taking control of the situation yourself and allow yourself to be in the back seat of your life and let what other people tell you dictate how your life is going to play out. We are inside of a big orchestration that you can't really tell unless you really look at it. And when you look at it, everybody that doesn't look at it, when you try to explain it to them, you're gonna sound crazy to them because for several factors, what it is, cognitive dissonance, that you crash in that reality of what they think things is. This is really a cult. You don't know economics, law, religion, how to talk to God, and expecting something good to come out of it. There's nothing good to come out of it, and you got everybody around you is trying to be in your face like everything's okay. But do you see them building any houses? Do you see anybody that can pass your screening if you just write on a piece of write or tell them, ask them on the penalty of perjury? Are you an agent? Are you seeking enrichment? Are you worshiping Satan? Anything than just the word no equates to yes. They say, what do you mean? They said yes. Okay? You have to realize that everything that got so out of control, that if you don't take control right now, the people around you could be compromised. And this is the time, well, you're gonna have to really until everybody warm up and realize hey man, the way we going about things ain't working. I don't care what none of y'all think, because we have two type of governments out here. We have the republic and we have the democracy. Democracy is of the devil. That's why it's close to democracy, Democrat. The people won't really know. When you ask elders what made them start voting Democrat, they'll tell you right to your face that, oh yeah, they give us free stuff. It's not about no honor. It's not about no keeping up with the poor. It's none of that. It's just that you people are looking for handout stuff, and they don't realize that these people are not authorized to give you nothing. You have to sign up to be in a position to be given something from them. Because other than that, when you do that, you give them permission to give you back your own stuff. You don't, by you not knowing economics, not knowing the law, not knowing special circuit, not knowing the regular government, not knowing how to represent yourself in court. All these things are coming into play right now. If you go and look at the Liberty City right now, the whole thing has been taken over. They already done moved. It's almost only, I ain't gonna say only but it's been compromised to the point where by us partying and thinking we could do these type of things 24/7 and not putting our hands into the law and listening to these TV people that worship Satan and they don't care about their own race, you guys got to understand that we have black folks that just don't care about you. It's called globalization, where they just like, man, fuck my own kind, man. They stupid, they don't do this, and they get molded like that because they done got fucked over at the beginning by the same people that they working for. They don't see the big circle like that. They working for the same people that got them in a position to say fuck their own people. But that's but what you can do is start learning the economics, learning the law. Remember, Proverbs 28:9. He who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayer is abomination. He who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayer is abomination. So that tell you right now, the people that we've been listening to, that getting us to say fuck the law, they have a satanic purpose for that. You see how all the celebrities and stuff, athletes, they satanic, but you can't link it together because you don't know your Bible. We trained to not look at that shit because we went to the whack ass churches that's worshiping Satan. They've got money inside the church. Money inside the church. What happened when Christ had money inside the church? They turned the tables over. But we come from a fucked up start, if that's what you want to call it. But it's actually a lesson that by not having a nuclear family, a mom and a dad in the household, everybody worshiping God, everybody know the law, and no TV, none of that video game shit, none of that out there doing wild, stupid stuff. And knowing our system, how can we even think that we could pull these type of stunts when we are allegedly coming out of slavery? The first thing we should be doing is closing the door on slavery and make sure that shit never happens again. Because when you start looking at the history and looking at everything that this is black country and it's black women that really run it, but they don't know it because they getting tricked to pump out these desirable men chasing behind something that is never going to be there. All women get to go through this thing right here. They get caught up in some dude that got the money printed from the feds. They come out here and take you on an extravagant date, probably $50,000 date. Get your head gassed up and then drop you off back here so you don't even see your own population. Instead of then we get into relationships and we don't learn the system to keep our system ahead. Oh, we got to go get a job. Go get a job at somebody else's shit. That means that your boss can have sex with your wife because he control your life. He control everything that you're going through, and that's in the Bible. He who labors for himself. We don't know our system and we don't know the Bible, and we listen to this music all day to have us all amped up emotionally and shit. And then that shit, what it says in the Bible, a man that sings heavy songs, emotional songs to you is the same one that will strip your clothes off you when you enter the winter storm. We don't see all these things and it's closing in on you, but I'm here to tell you, no matter how bad it gets, is you keep a positive attitude, a smile, repent to God, let him know, hey man, hey God, I'm sorry I let the illusion, I bought for the illusion, they sold me an illusion and I went for it. I thought I could go without you, but I realized that everything around me, everybody's watching me, and all the evil stuff is going on based on me being idle and not taking control of the situation. I thought I didn't have any power, but I realized I never used it to see it fail before. So I'm sorry, and I'm going to move forward in the right direction. You start praying, you start learning the system. Proverbs 28:9, he who turns a deaf ear to the law, even your prayers are abomination. You cannot not learn the law and expect to be having the powers that God given us to the chosen ones to take effect. Learn the law, economics, and read spiritual history. Put the books of the Bible that was taken out together now. It's no excuse now. Everybody should know all the books that was taken out of the Bible and put together by now. Because when you put them together, realize that what we was told and what the whole story is a whole different ball game. And I'm here to tell you that one of the biggest threats that you're going to be facing is the number one thing that you need. You need to be alone. This is where you heard about the Great Reset, but in reality, this is the Great Quiet. Well, you got to go in the cut. You got to learn what this paperwork says. Because the devil and God is just wondering how long it's going to take, how bad it's going to get before you start looking at the paperwork to see if you justify them doing these things. And when you could pray and tell God, hey, they breaking the rule right here. They just waiting on us to tell them and pray and say, hey, this is what they doing, they violating. But we don't know the laws and we listening to this old satanic music. I was just thinking what came to my head right now is Nas. If you knew the name of the word, the origin of Nas, you would have killed him because the Nas is the one that attempted created pedophilia. He transgressed against God. He was a part of killing Christ. I guess that was a prophecy that had to happen. But we listen to the knowledge, like where them where that word come from. We don't know where none of these people come from, and then we so sad when something happened to them. They don't give a fuck about you. They not even dead. They get you emotionally wound up and not learn your economics and all this shit. You sit around and think that you can watch YouTube and see these people play video games. Oh, I could do that too. I could be a gamer. Or I could play NFL. And then you gonna have to sacrifice your father, your son, because you didn't want to just learn how to go through the Bible and pick stuff yourself. 12 U.S. Code 411. Federal Reserve notes are for in-house banking only. And this shit been going on since 1933. So like, damn, so how did they pull this off? We got mind control with V2K. I guarantee you, when you try to say, just think of the word, the year 1800s, I bet you start getting foggy. Just say it, 1800s. And this been going on since the 1940s. Henry Purick, the inventor of, that's why they got the X-Men, Dr. Hank. He's the origin. He's the one that created mind control. Got everybody around here dancing their feet away, and you ain't got nothing. These clubs are here for you to sit around and waste your time while they try to get you to think that they taking your property. But by you not knowing the law, that you don't operate under these type of forms and documents. And when you have your women, when you have your men out here broke and all this shit, it should have been a wake-up call. That why is we doing all these things and thinking, not knowing that we all one? Every race is going through the same thing because if we don't stop this stuff as black folks, it could continue. But I don't know, it ain't. The Christ era is here. Even if you don't want to be a complete fuck up, it's still gonna get fixed with or without you. But the thing about it is, why would you put yourself through that? I guess that's good enough for right now. But I'm going to leave you with the prayer that I found out when you put all the books of the Bible together. That if you say this prayer, and eventually all of us going to say this prayer at the same time, but one voice, and God's going to reveal Himself. The Father's truth is just, and the child presides over all and for everyone, from the ages to the ages. Holy, holy, holy. Amen. All right. So that's it. Learn your economics, learn the laws, so you can have God intensify your prayers. You fast with it. You don't just, sometimes you gotta fast to fast. You have to know the law, and you gotta pray. Put all those three together. Economics, you gotta know your spiritual history. You're gonna have to be alone to make it through this stuff. But when I was a kid, they used to have this thing about an Indian going in the forest with just a knife, a teenager. And what that symbolized to me is when you go and see if everything that you learn is justified to be out here. And we just train to be using each other to our disadvantage. And when we come, I notice when people getting put out here that they are, everything that's being done, we don't know how powerful he is. They getting us to use our own people because by law they're not allowed to go into our quadrants and do these things. We allow the police to come here because we don't know what the protocols, and we just see on TV and we accept that type of stuff. We allow the people to work in the job system that don't know the Constitution. They don't know. They're just going by standard operating procedures. But that shit coming to an end because now you can just go over their head and start suing the people that's doing this stuff. I'm here to tell you, if you want to come up, all you have to do is just learn the law. And you can eat off the land out here as we speak. Because everything they doing, they breaking the law. When I say everything that's going on, they breaking the law. And all you have to do is realize that this is corporate. It's not of actual government of ours from the republic. We have two governments. We have the republic and we have the democracy. The democracy is everything that we see. The government, the republic is everything that you don't see. And that's it. But everything that you see is something going on. I guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, they are breaking the law. When they talk to you, they say you're a person. You don't know the law definition of person means a corporation, a legal entity, a business, a franchise. Because you trained to go to public service school and hear that word, and you just like, oh, that means me. And then now you got the people you got working in the system, and they don't know that. They say, oh, yeah, any person, so I could talk to you as a police officer. That's what they're thinking. And anything don't know in the state don't mean in the land of the state. It means in the state of mind, in the corporate boundaries, and all these things. And you just don't know that this is the golden age. This is the golden era. And the only thing that's happening right now is that all of us are guessing out here, and we watching TV to just instead of just admitting shame that we don't know what we're doing, and just cut our losses right there and go to God and say, hey man, I thought the experiment is over. We thought there was an experiment that we could live without you. Can't do it. When you got the V2K over us, as soon as you start trying to learn all this stuff, it's gonna mess with your head. You see everybody walking out here, walking in the streets, talking to themselves. You think they're going on drugs? Nope. It's because we allowed the 4G, 5G phones to be here. Now they fuck with people that have a traumatic experience that you think when they see them scruffy and they're on drugs and they talking to themselves, the drugs done got them gone, and we just spread that like rumor. We nothing but rumor. I don't want to get down on us. We are great people, but sometimes we make a lot of mistakes by just spreading information without confirming it. That underground shit, that word of mouth shit, that shit got you right where they want you. You don't know your economics. You still looking for somebody else to tell you something, and then you don't put all your resources into this facade, this fraud. That when your people try to tell you something, they got about $5, $6 in their pocket, but they got all the wisdom of the world, and if the wisdom was converted into wealth, it'd be trillions of dollars. You won't listen to that because it's so vague, it's so far from what you done got trained to. And now the V2K and the radio waves got you trying to make them compete and have a presentation to the same of the physical coins that you done allocated to this one-sided resource, and expecting them to do that stuff. When you got to come use discernment and investigate. That's why when you leave the house, it's not just for you to go to work and go back. It's for you to learn information and bring it back to your cave, your headquarters. The man's job is not to provide, but not to provide wealth. His job is to provide all information that is presented and all the information that's never presented. That's what we are lacking right now, and we are on drugs too much. We are doing everything but because we probably don't know what to do. I'm here to tell you, all you have to do is learn economics, learn the law, learn the spiritual history, be able to be alone and be in the world quiet so this stuff can end. It's going to end without your participation, but wouldn't you rather not for this stuff to get ended the most fast, efficient way? And I think that's pretty much it for today. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time.